When Donald Trump first announced that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy were going to head this Doge committee a few months ago, very shortly after that, Musk and Ramaswamy put out kind of a spreadsheet of these are the things that we're going to cut. And one of the things that they were going to do was they were going to zero out the budget for the VA. They were going to cut all funding to the VA. Health care for veterans, mental health care for veterans, prosthetics for veterans, all medical care for veterans. And they're running into some difficulties with that. And the latest one of those is the Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, has temporarily suspended billions of dollars in planned contract cuts following concerns that the move would hurt critical veterans health services. The pause affects hundreds of VA contracts that Secretary Doug Collins a day earlier described simply as consulting deals, whose cancellation would have saved $2 billion as the Trump administration works to slash cuts across the federal government. I mean, I duetted a TikTok yesterday or the day before. I think it was a woman reading a tweet from a VA office outside of Spokane, Washington, where, because the government gives these departments essentially like credit cards that they can use to order medical supplies and put gas into vehicles that they use to go pick up veterans and bring them to and from their appointments and things like that. The Trump administration made the available balance on all of those cards $1, so they can't use those cards to do anything. But apparently they're halting some of those cuts right now out of concern for critical veterans health services. The flip side is that the Trump administration says it is eliminating more than 90% of USAID. USAID, it's a U.S. agency for international development. They're eliminating more than 90% of their foreign aid contracts and $60 billion in overall U.S. assistance around the world. So when you cut the VA, that impacts real Americans every day in their lives. When you cut foreign assistance around the world, the vast majority of voters don't know anything about and don't care about foreign policy. They just don't, because it's not something that ever affects them in their daily life. And I think that's why Elon Musk started with USAID, because all of that money was intended to go overseas. That money is critical to maintaining what's called the soft power of the United States around the world, providing services, medication, food assistance for populations in impoverished countries all over the globe. But again, it's not something that directly impacts voters here at home. And so what better place for Elon to start his slash and burn campaign? But the consequences of doing away with USAID are going to be felt down the road for a very, very, very long time.